Welcome back to the Forza Horizon 4 video, guys. Today we are jumping into spring, showcasing the city and a bunch of brand new gameplay here on the channel, as well as a couple of new game modes as well, which is pretty cool. Anyways, before we get into today's video, if you missed any of the previous seasons, go check them out. There are links down below for everything. I highly recommend you do, because there's so much cool stuff that I've shown off here on the channel, so make sure you go check those videos out after this one if you missed them. Some of the things we're going to be taking a look at today include some of the brand new cars coming to the game. One of them might surprise you a little bit, as well as some new wide body kits, some new game modes, as well as the city, which is super cool. So let's get into it with something that I really didn't expect to be seeing in this gameplay, especially right now. We got to see our very first look at a very interesting car, if I can even call it that. The Mercedes racing truck was being driven around by an AI. It was only like on the screen for a split second, but the Mercedes racing truck is coming to Forza Horizon 4, and you can actually see some gameplay of it. If you remember the massive leak that happened with Forza Horizon 4 that actually showed off the entire car list, well, there's actually another truck coming. I won't spoil what it is for you guys here, but link in the description if you want to know about those other cars, I will say. Anyways, one of the things that's actually pretty cool about this game is that it's very easy to tell what trees you can knock over and what trees you can't. In Forza Horizon 3, you might have noticed if you've watched any of my challenges before, Raymond and I will be racing, and we'll be racing super hard through the off-roady parts, and one of us will just smack into a tree because we thought we could crash into it and take it down. In Forza Horizon 4, they made it like very noticeable which trees you can knock over and which ones you can't. Which ones you can't knock over, the huge ones, and then the tiny ones are obviously the ones you can knock over. But it's very easy to tell which ones you can and cannot knock over. So although spring doesn't really change that much from, say, like summer or fall, it's all sort of going to be the same sort of basic driving mechanic at the end of the day, there is going to be some cool things that are happening with the world around you. The trees will change, the lighting will change, all of that good stuff, but some of the cool things that will change is you'll still have snow up on the mountaintop, so if you go up to the top of some very, very tall peaks, you will still find some snow up there, which is super cool. Sadly, we didn't get to see any of that, but it's cool to know it's there. They also specifically mentioned that the summer days are going to be longer than days in the winter. So if you ever heard the phrase like long summer days or long winter nights, that is going to be a thing in Forza Horizon 4, which is pretty cool. After some hooning about in the environment, we headed over to the new Gymkhana area. This is actually going to be the new airfield for Forza Horizon 4, which is super, super cool. And it's actually an abandoned airfield. I spoke about this in one of my previous videos, but in all the previous games, the airfields were like actual airports. Well, this one's been abandoned, and they've actually set things up around the airport, and you can do some really, really cool like Gymkhana stuff, and you've got these huge jumps at the airport, which is very Forza Horizon 2-esque, which is awesome. I'm gonna have so much fun here. I'm sure so many videos are gonna be made here. It's gonna be awesome. Anyways, this is actually just one of like the runways. There's two runways. You can see this one with all the stuff on it, and then there's another one that's actually on the map, and that's the one where you want to do your drag racing. It's very cool. Before we head into any more proper racing stuff, there were actually two other very cool cars we were able to spot. Two Lamborghinis. A Lamborghini Urus with a wide body off-road kit on the thing. I've already spoken about the off-road body kits, how they had like wide fenders, big chunky off-road tires, light bars, and things like that. Well, the Lamborghini Urus is going to be joining the list of off-road body kit availabilities, and we also got our first look at the Liberty Walk Lamborghini Huracan, which is very, very cool. In Forza Horizon 3, we only had the Lamborghini Huracan, which had the Liberty Walk body kit, but now we've also got the little baby Huracan as well, which should be awesome. Anyway, so we should probably jump into some proper racing, and today we got to see the first time ever some like proper online competitive racing, and this is going to be called Team Adventure. Basically what happens is you split up into two different teams. You have 6 people on each side, and you have to do a best of 5 challenge. When I say challenge, you're going to be doing things like tag, infected, normal races, checkpoint races, things like that. Obviously, there's some normal races in here as well, which they showed off, which was a normal sort of circuit off-road sort of rally style race through the off-roading area. Apologies as well, they were dropping a lot of frames when they were playing online. It was just like very, very choppy, so apologies, it was actually the stream that was causing that issue. Anyways, one of the cool things is the teams actually have names, and you can actually see that in game. There was the Dinosaurs and the Testers or something. Anyways, you see their names actually in the game, and they actually have logos as well. So I don't know how, like, you or I would put our team name there or put, like, a logo there, but that would be really cool. I don't know if that's a feature, but we'll have to see. So after, like, the rally style race, they went and did a new type of event, which was actually called FREEROAM Rush. Now, FREEROAM Rush is sort of like another style of race. You start at a point and have a finish line, however, there are no checkpoints. You have to figure out the fastest way from point A to point B, whether that means going through a ton of twisty roads or beelining the thing straight there. It's up to you to figure out the fastest way to get there. I really love events like this because it means that you have to know the map very, very well, and if you play the game a lot, you are going to have a huge advantage for events like this. Once the FREEROAM Rush was finished, we headed over to a brand new event again. This one was called Survival. Survival is sort of like a mix of racing and virus, they said. However, it might remind you a little bit of a mini game that I did on Forza Horizon 3 called Freeze Tag. Basically what you do is you have your two teams, obviously, and there are a team of infected and there's a team of survivors. It's the people who are infected job to get the team of survivors. However, when one of the people who are infected tags one of the people who are the survivors, they become infected. Or they become, I would say, sick. It's not actually infected. The cool thing is that if someone on that survivor team tags the person who's sick, that person recovers and becomes a survivor again. So essentially like the freeze tag game that I did on the channel a little while ago. Anyways, it's always pretty cool seeing some more mini games coming to Forza Horizon 4. I am super pumped for this one. It should be very fun. They're always just a fun sort of little thing to do, so I'm happy. They also said this team adventure is actually how the Forza Horizon 4 league system works, so you will constantly be getting like a rank depending on how well you do if you decide to play ranked, obviously. And then when you're playing ranked, you will be ranked or be playing with people who are a similar rank to you, which is pretty cool. So it's all sort of like leagues, and it's very different from Forza 7 leagues, but You'll be playing with people who are as good as you. That's all you need to know. And finally, we are heading to the city. This is Edinburgh. This is a super, super cool place, and we just came straight in over the top of some huge mountain and jumped straight into the city. How cool is that? One of the things just outside of the city is this very cool castle called Banbury? I don't know how you pronounce it, but Banbury. Anyway, super cool castle. You get to see it on the side of the road. It's huge. Massive place. There were also some train tracks just outside the city as well, which was pretty cool. So you are actually going to be able to drive along the train track and mess around with the train and do some train racing and stuff like that. It's going to be good. One of the things we actually got to see inside of the city itself was one of the player businesses, which this one was actually called the World's Fastest Rental. And what you have to do in this one is, once you amass a certain amount of money, you have to go and buy a business. This particular business is to own a car rental company for exotic cars. Once you buy the car rental place, and I would imagine fill it up with some rental cars, you will make money every single time you come into Forza Horizon 4. So the same way you got money for your Drivatar being in races, or your tunes, or your paints being downloaded, you are going to be getting money from your businesses and people renting your cars, which is very, very cool. I don't know exactly how much money you're going to be earning just yet, but these are going to be a very good way to earn some more passive income, which is great. We also got to see a night street race in Forza Horizon 4, doing all like the twists and turns throughout all of Edinburgh. Now in Forza Horizon 3, these street races were being used as the head-to-head races. It's actually how you did the pink slip battles in Forza Horizon 3. Now this race was actually a 12-man race, so I don't know the way it's going to work in Forza Horizon 4. If there's still going to be those pink slip battles, we will have to see. But this is one of the street races in the game. Pretty cool. And finally, once again, we are finishing today's live stream with a super wheel spin. These super wheel spins, for those of you who don't know, it's essentially 3 wheel spins in one. You've got these 3 different slots and you pull it and you get all of the prizes from them. So for this particular one of the slots pulled over 500k, which is huge. That is a huge amount of money being pulled, and it's going to be a very, very good way to make a hell of a lot of money in the game. And guys, that's really all there is to it in today's live stream. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey throughout all of the live streams. These past 4 weeks have been seriously awesome. I am going to have so much more Forza Horizon 4 gameplay for you guys very, very soon, so make sure you subscribe. I cannot wait to showcase some more gameplay here on the channel. I will see you guys soon with some of that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!